Here we go. But this is Buggy Live with me, Riccardo. And as always, we talk about football with people that are around the sport, whether they are players or the organizer, everything related to this beautiful sport that is the football. And today we have a special guest, as you can see already by the title. So without any further ado, let's introduce our special guest, Fred Gower, the former coach of China football team. Hello.
Hello,
How are
Ricardo.
you?
How are you? Nice to see
Good.
you.
Nice and very, very honored to have you with us.
No, the honor is mine. And a big hello to all your viewers. It's great to talk to you, and I hope to meet some of you one day.
Yeah, maybe one day we can organize also. You can come here and have a beautiful conversation next to each other. So we'll be
Perfect.
okay. So the first question it was obviously how are you? So you're fine. I can see you. And yes, let's talk about football. Let's talk about what your history. How did you come across this beautiful sport? And yes, just let's start with a simple question. And what did you achieve as a player?
In the late 1970s, foosball came to North America big time. It came from Europe, of course. And it actually came from U.S. servicemen working in Germany. They found the game foosball. They mispronounced it as foosball and brought it back to North America. And being a Canadian, anything that's in the U.S. gets to Canada eventually. So in my home city of Vancouver, I found it in the late 1970s. And then after getting addicted to it, I should have been studying more. I get addicted to it. The game kind of went away. Video games came in and football went away. And I never lost in the bar. I thought I was good. And then when it came back in the 90s and the early 2000s, I found the best players around, and I thought I would go and show them how to play, and they killed me. They annihilated me. It wasn't even close. But what I found was it was exciting because it wasn't just speed and coordination. There was strategy and technique and systems. So as I learned that, I got excited, and then lo and behold, I was able to share that with my friends as I moved to Asia. It was great.
Yeah. So since that, you fell in love with this beautiful sport, of course. And when did you become professional? I mean, ITSF, and what did you achieve as a professional?
Well, I was a professional only in Asia. In North America, I'm considered semi-professional, which is fine. I'm 59 now, so in the senior ranks, I've won a world championship in the senior ranks for the fireball doubles, and for the no pro tornado event, no pro DYP, I've also won a world championship. But I don't consider myself a world champion. Sometimes we say that just to get the kids excited. I consider myself a good, strong semi-pro, a good, friendly coach. And the key is everywhere I go, I love the game. I share the game, my passion. But that's it. I've had some championships, but I'm a coach and a player first.
So okay, now I would like to know. Okay, you achieve a lot as a player. I mean, and then. What made you move to the part of coaching and reach this high level, this high achievement of being the coach for the China team over there in Asia? How was the path?
Just when I was getting serious about the game, studying the game, taking notes, coming up with my own little system for learning it, getting foosball videos, just as I was getting serious, my wife and I had a chance to move to Asia for work. And one of the conditions was my wife would be working long hours. I told her, I'm gonna work with foosball promoter, have fun with it. She said, sure, go ahead. And so I call myself a very successful failure in that my focus in China was on the adults in the big cities. And I put a lot of effort in, and got very small results. What I wasn't counting on was the fact that I also was able to show a number of people in the schools, especially principals, and they fell in love with the game. So what I would tell promoters is, yes, be excited, be passionate, be persistent, but most important, be flexible. So if you get excitement in some area that wasn't planned, go with it. So we got excitement from the kids. And I've heard from my students, we have over 5,000 kids playing on a regular basis, and a couple hundred of them are just addicted to it. They love it. They want to play in the big championships. So going from nothing in 2004 to like over 5,000 people is good
Okay.
growth, and I'm proud of that. But not only in China, but all over Asia, the game is growing very fast.
Yeah, we speaking of coaching, no, especially in this case, coach. Which one gave you more satisfaction? Let's say adults or kids. Which one they put more effort in learning this beautiful sport?
The kids still listen. Adults have long since stopped listening. In fact, one of my students was an adult who I was the coach, he was the player, he did most of the talking. And I just laughed afterwards because he learned nothing. Where the kids at least will pay a little bit of attention. So the kids, but you have to keep it fun for them. You can't keep it's not a lecture. So as quickly as possible, I have the kids doing something. So I do it, you do it, high five. I do it, you do it. Okay, now try harder, try better, high five. Never ever bad, never ever didn't do it. Even if they did it poorly, great, high five, encourage them. And I come back in 6 months, Ricardo, and they're beating me with my own shot. It's just wonderful. So yeah, the kids are more attentive. And the best of all the kids were actually deaf kids. So I got to teach deaf children at one school. Boy, were they focused. Okay. And all I would do is my technique is I would do it twice. So I would do the technique twice, teach it in English. Then on the second time, my translator would say it in Chinese and they would learn. At the deaf school, we did it 3 times. First English, then Chinese, then sign language. So that was probably, we only did that for one school, but it was really fun.
That's really cool and very kind also of you to give this big effort for us. Okay, so we understand that maybe kids are more keen to learn the sport and to, keep with this, to improve the skills also.
Yes.
So speaking about maybe foreigner players, when the Chinese now start to play, what did they think about seeing professional play? How did they react about this?
They absolutely loved it. Imagine if you're studying martial arts, the first thing you want to see is the Asian champions, the Chinese champion of Kung Fu, the karate champion of Japan. That's who you want to learn from. That's who you want to see. So luckily for me, I had a good DVD collection. And we would literally just phonetically spell it out in Chinese. Gummy-san, your, Spraydaman. And I didn't teach it to them by name. I taught them to it by technique. So for wall pass, Gummison. For second lane, your. For snake shot, Pappas and Spraydaman. And then we'd have the DVDs numbered, DVD 16, 32, 31, whatever the spreadsheet said. So they would just put it in, and they would learn directly from the world's best by just copying their setup, their hand position, their body motion, where it finished, what it sounded like. And they would just follow this. And it took a little while to get them to do this. But then I would just leave I had a group of about 10 players to start off with. I would just leave them and come back in a week and they'd be doing it, quite well. So what was satisfying was introducing it, but I let the world's best show it, and they were very excited.
Yeah. So what would you be your thought being a promoter over there about all this experience that you earned staying in Asia?
Well, the first thing is I was a very bad promoter to start with. I had no one for about a year. And so my biggest trait that I had, my biggest factor, was being persistent. In fact, I call it being stupid. Anyone smart would have given up months and years ago. But just because I love the game so much, you can never give up. And then I'd also say, it's like a tree. A tree doesn't move, but a tree is still flexible. So in addition to being persistent, you have to be flexible. You have to know what it is your players are looking for. So the established, mature players been playing, of course, they want to win. They want to win money. They want to win glory. They want to beat up on people. We know that. But the newer player, I think they want 2 things. They either want to have fun, or they want to get better, or both. So if they're not having fun, they're not getting better, they're not going to stay around long. But also we have to realize the numbers are most people won't stay around long, so it's a bit of a numbers game. You keep attracting players, you make it so they want to stay. Some of them do stay, but here's the magic I wasn't counting on. They invite their friends. So it's not just what you can do, you multiply and multiply. You only have to multiply 20 times, you have 1 million, if you know what I mean. So the reason why we have 70 or 80 players in Shanghai now is not because I gave up after 1 or 2. it's their friends invited their friends, and now it's quite large. It's fun.
It's like an exponential,
Exactly.
curve.
Exactly. Never give up. Let it grow. Give it time.
Okay, so I would say, just in a good way, you need to be quite stubborn, in order
Yes.
to follow. Never give up so easily, anyway. And speaking about the table, because I heard that you also are known as I can say, the grandfather of the table that they're using now in Asia, at least in Southeast Asia, some region such as Vietnam, I think Malaysia, and China, of course, which is called the Fireball. So the question is, are you one of the founder of this table or a helper? Let us know.
Not a founder, but a helper for sure. The founder of the table is a fellow named Dennis Jiang, who was schooled in Canada, but is Chinese descent. And we found each other, and he had a table, first of all, called the Rocket. And the Rocket was a good table, but some things needed updating. And for sure, he would ask me, and I would give input. But he would ask everybody. He would ask Friedemann. He'd ask Billy Pappas. He would ask everyone. And then so I told him I prefer the bumper smaller or this bigger or the handle, whatever. And for sure, he took some things from me, and for that I'm proud. But I'm not the father of it. Dennis is. But it was really the input of two German players, Thierry and Octay. And they redid the logo, and they redid the man, and then it turned from Rocket into Fireball. And it became a very, very good table. In fact, I think it's probably the number one table in Asia, because even though people love all the different tables, being it's from Asia is the least expensive to bring in, and it's a good quality table, good reliable table, and you can do all the shots. No matter what country you come from, you can play on a Fireball. So we like it.
Yeah. I think you made a kind of a mix between Italian or similar Italian, fast, combined to the precision of Tornado, something
Correct.
like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what did you achieve as a, let's say, because I'm curious to know, as a coach, what is your best result and so on? The coaching China, of course.
Well, I started locally just by coaching the local players in Shanghai, but I invited the top players, I told you before, roughly 10 of them, from all over China to come in, and I paid their expenses, so it wasn't a big deal. But I taught them everything I knew. And then some of them gave up the game, some of them went back to their home cities, and it was a phone call I got from one of the principals. They said, "Mr. Gower, can you please come and coach our kids?" And I said, "I'd love to, but I work full time, so I can't come and teach the kids. But what I can do is I can send one of my best players." So we did that in a few places. So across China, basically taking the stuff that I taught them, plus the stuff they learned on their own, plus the stuff from the videos, and they went and formed a core of very good players. So again, I wouldn't say that I'm the coach of the juniors. I'd say I'm the grandfather, if you will. So I taught their coaches. And the best result we had, we do pretty well in the junior ranks. But the problem is in China is all the kids stop playing at about age 12. I have lots of video of the Chinese 12-year-olds beating up on the European players. Maybe not the best players, but they're almost crying, "Oh, we have to face China again," and they just kill them. But at age 12, they all stop, so they're never going to get to age 18 and really compete for the junior championship. They just don't have enough time because their parents and their teachers are all focusing after age 12, get ready for university, study every night, get ready. So probably the next thing to do is to try to have not all the kids, not 5,000 kids or a crazy number, but a smaller number keep playing to really compete for a junior championship one day. On the men's side, sorry to bring this up, but we played Italia. And even though Italy has a long history, we know Italy is new to the slow style and the ITSF rules, but still long history,
yes.
very well known, beautiful players. And China, who'd only been playing for a short time, took them to the very last game, the very last match, the very last few balls, and Italy won. So coming from nothing to almost defeating Italy is probably our greatest achievement. And then I was able to play as a senior player for China, and I think I finished 17th in the world in singles and doubles for the senior division, which is respectable. But of course, I know there's lots of better players than me, but I'm happy to get the results we did. And more importantly, the growth of the game is what I really focus in on. That's why I coach, not for championships, to grow the game and have fun.
Yeah, you did. I mean, even though you say you didn't do a lot as a player, but I think you have done a lot as a coach, as a trainer. So, I mean, a lot of respect from us for what you did, actually.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, speaking about the past, now the last question would be: what do you think? What will you do? What are your plans for the future regarding the football? Will you still coach, or maybe I don't know?
Well, I left China a few years ago. I'm back in Canada, and I have the privilege of, even though I come from Vancouver, now I live in Toronto, and a good deal of the national team of Canada is players in Toronto. And one of our strengths is the fact that we have a combination of both the North American style, the tornado style, and the Italian style in Toronto. In fact, I hope people don't get mad at me, but I think the best players in Toronto came from the Fabi Italian background and have those skill sets already. The fast play, the very active, can shoot from anywhere. But then they also calm it down to the strategic play, the slow play as well.
Okay.
So if they combine both, they became the champion. So my invitation to the Italian players is never, ever lose your style. But if you can add to that the new style as well, bring your passion, bring your coordination, your speed, your desire, your love for the game, and learn a new layer to it and become champions in all the styles. That's my invitation to all the players in the world, especially Italy.
Yes, this is something I'm going to translate in my next video when I try, of course, to explain to our fellows in Italy. And we'll give this advice. We will put maybe a little bit aside and bring it back when we need some of our tricks.
Please,
learning, of course, be willing into learning new style or the ITSF style, because mainly we have to play that game, the traditional style, which is totally different from us. And what I want to ask you is maybe last question, because now is we are very close, to celebrate also New Year, and I take the occasion to give you our best wishes to you and your family for a beautiful New Year full of satisfaction. I would like, if it's possible, to invite you, show us some beautiful tricks. I'm sure you are able to make it, because I can see behind you a very lovely football table.
It would be my pleasure. And before I forget, I want to wish a very happy New Year to you and all your viewers. And again, my invitation to them is, please go to Asia, please come to North America, make friends on the table. We can battle it out. We can be enemies on the table, but off the table, we want to become friends with everyone. And a very happy New Year and a safe New Year to everyone. So let's get on the table now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The meanwhile you setting up, I can still see you. And I totally agree with your last sentence. We can be not enemy, but just, competitors, let's say, when we face each other. After that, before and after, we all friends. It's just like a big family, Here, the football lovers, we are all the same with the same passion. So, no fight, just have fun.
Perfect. Can you see the video okay of the table?
Let me see. Okay, perfect. See if you can. Okay, make it just a little bit more steady. Steadier would be great, because like this is perfect. We can. Yeah. Okay. We can see it.
All
so
right.
you're going. What are you going to show us?
I'm going to show you two things.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the snake shot second, but I want to show you the underpinnings of everything for slow style. It's ball control. So here's the first thing that the Italians already know, the tic-tac. Of course they know this. And of course they know the off the wall. But maybe what they don't know is so much is like the stopping and the cradling, because this is not part of the main Italian game. So how we stop it, we call it cradle. See, I move with the ball and I slow it down gently. So if you're going to do a pull or push shot, that's the key, is to slow it down gently. Now this time I do both, tic-tac, slow it down gently. Drag, cradle, tic-tac, and now a pin. So until you have those things mastered, it's very difficult to do some of these sort of trick shots, the snake shot, the European front toe. On the snake shot, what's going to happen is the handle is going to rotate.
Would you say these are the basics? Sorry to interrupt you. These are kind of, you need to learn this movement in order to proceed and to improve.
Correct.
Okay.
So ball control always comes first, and always be practicing ball control every time you play, for sure.
Okay. Perfect.
And now we're going to build now with the snake shot. Now, the snake shot in some people's minds ruins or cheapens the game. I agree. It makes the game too easy. But because it's part of the game and because it's my best shot, I choose it. Why? Because this is not figure skating. There's no style points. If I score 5 before you score 5, I win. And if I take the same player, the same skill, the same strength, coordination, intelligence, and if I try to teach them the pull shot, the European front toe, and the snake shot, after 1 year, their snake shot will be beautiful. After 1 year, their European will be pretty good. And after 1 year, their pull shot will be kind of average. But after 5 years, the shot I fear the most is the pull shot. So the snake shot is effective and quick. And that's the one I'm going to teach right now.
Okay, I thought was the deadliest was the snake shot, but yeah, you can show us even the pull shot.
Sure. So for the snake shot, why the snake shot is so deadly, it combines the two. So it has the speed and the power of the pull shot, but it has the deception of the European front toe in that it can go either way. So here I'm rocking. I'll slow it down so you can see it on the camera. Here I'm rocking. And what I want the person to do is I want them to believe that I'm only this wide. And then when I shoot, I go a little wider, a little quicker. So I call that sort of shooting on a bit of an angle. I'll show you to you right now.
Okay. Yes.
So here's a bit of an angle, not dead straight. Now I'll try to show it to you faster. So there's medium speed. This one you won't even see on the camera. It's very, very fast.
It's really too fast, even though I could see it on the camera. But I had the chance to be scored by this shot. Before facing it, I thought, okay, with my style, no problem. I can save it anytime I want. But believe me, 3 times this guy stopped the ball and started doing this snake shot. 3 times he scored. I still don't know how he did it, but it's really deadliest.
Look, the key is they can shoot both spray angles, but also outside squares. So again, on the YouTube, if they look at some of the various teachers, if you can widen the shot, not just to be, say, this wide, but to be this wide, and to have options over the entire goal.
Okay. Widen the angle.
Shot. So I can score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I can also score the various corners or various angles. So I have 7 or 8 options that I'm looking at, and I can shoot quite quickly, maybe half a second after the shot's open. So it's a deadly shot.
Okay, so you have kind of five lines where you can score with this?
When I teach my students, I get 5 balls, and I would line them up on the goal as 1, 2, 3 would be in the middle, 4, and 5. So we're going to try to pick one of those holes. And then so I teach my student, okay, hole 4, okay, hole 1, okay, hole 3. But we don't attack it just one way, we attack it 2 ways. So if I have the ball here, I can hit hole number 1, which is right here, 2 ways. I can release the ball here and angle it in the goal, which is 1 way. I can also take the ball further out and I can shoot it straight, which is another way. So this would defend the first shot successfully, but you would die if I did the second option and went around you, because I would just kill you. So what I'm trying to do is, as I'm deciding what sort of shot to choose, is your defense narrow or is your defense wide? If your defense is narrow, I will go outside of it and hit it straight, 90 degrees. If your defense is instead giving me these holes, I will spray it from the inside, either a little bit left or a little bit right, more from sort of the middle. So in other words, I would let you choose your way to die, and I would just try to do the right shot to kill you at the right time.
So let's recap. So instead of maybe our tables that luck can be maybe a good 30%, when you master this kind of shot, okay, the snake shot, and you really want to place the ball, let's say, in the 4th line rather than the 1st or the 2, you can do easily. There's no way to
Easily.
Yeah.
After a few months of shooting it, if you take your time in practice, plus or minus maybe 10%, yeah, that hole.
Let's say
So
you know where you aiming at.
That's right. So if you face a newer player, you will absolutely destroy them. If you face a master player, they will turn the tables because they know all the options. They have learned your timing. They know your preference. They're looking for, do you have a tell? Do you move your hand a little bit? Do you adjust your shoulder a little bit? And some of the top players can stop the snake shot like 80%. It's absolutely amazing.
Wow, when they can stop this shot, I mean, they can compete everywhere as goalie, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's why I say, if I'm going to have to face a pro player, I'm much more afraid of the European shot and the pull shot as opposed to the snake shot. Because my systems of moving are good enough that I can slow down any snake shooter.
Okay, I see. But yeah, as I said maybe before, when I saw in some videos that they don't move it evenly. Sometimes they move odd or even the way around the goalie, the roads. So they have a special technique.
That's right. So you cannot stop as a defender. You cannot stop and give him the corner. You have to keep moving even like every couple seconds. And then I call it Crazy Charlie. So if I'm showing you, here comes the right side is opening, the right side is open, the right side is opening. Now you go for it, here comes Charlie. The right side is closed.
Okay, I see.
So by having a system of knowing what I'm giving you and lie, it's open, now I close it. We call that baiting or timing. A very, very regular pro-level defense against a snake shot. Very effective.
One shot, but so many technique to avoid it. It must be really, really deadly compared to us that we have many, many shots, but maybe much easier to find them, to see when they are going to be thrown. And yes, I guess this style for us, it would be so difficult to learn, especially because I see that you can use the wrist for making this shot.
And actually, that's an advantage because instead of using all muscles, like if you play a 5-day tournament with a pull shot, your arm will get very sore, very tired. And your pull shot in the 5th day will not look the same as it was in the 1st day. Whereas the snake shot is much more joints and ligaments, a little bit of muscle, so it's much more predictable. So it's an easier shot for that. But once again, I fear the pull shot the most because I feel like I'm in a gunfight with Clint Eastwood. He can kill me at any moment. It's terrifying. And they have so much control, so much width, so much power. But it's not a shot you can master. You can do it a little bit, but not master it quickly. It does take some time.
Okay, that's good. So I think maybe we are near the end of this beautiful interview, Fred. You showed us almost everything about technique to try to start at least how to not to master but to practice a snake shot, and also how to try to avoid, even though I think it's pretty difficult.
For sure.
Yeah. So okay, if you want to, I don't know, greet us, someone, if you want to tell something more. Otherwise, I think.
I just want to say thank you, and to all the players that you have and all the viewers, is just remember, as you say, okay, we can be enemies on the table, but off the table we're friends. And the reason why I give this interview is because I get so much joy from the game, I feel it's my responsibility to give back. So this is not free. You owe us, you owe the game now, to bring out your friends, to take a referee lesson, to maybe help move tables, to volunteer for the promoter to level the table. Whatever it is you can do in addition to being the player, you owe it to the game because our game must grow. So thank you all. Season's greetings. Happy New Year. Please join players in Asia, join players in North America. We're all under one world, and I love all the players, and I hope to see you soon on the table.
Yes. So okay, Fred, is such a wise person. I mean, you are. You left me kind of speechless, and yeah, we will. I will follow these advices. I will always try to bring up this beautiful sport, even though I'm not even a pro player. I'm just an average player. You know, I never won anything. I never achieved maybe not even half of what you did. But I want to
But for all
spread
players,
this beautiful
we all
word.
love the game.
Yeah, we all love it, and we will do our best. Especially maybe my next trip to Southeast Asia. Who knows? Maybe I can spread the word of this beautiful game as a
Sounds great.
promoter. Yeah, we can do it. We will make this sport great again. I will never stop to say that.
Grazie.
Grazie. Ok, Fred. So, buon anno. Best wishes, tanti auguri from Italy, from us, from the Buggy Live, to you and to your family.
Happy New Year. Gong si fa sei.
Happy New Year, buon anno nuovo.
Buon anno.
Buon anno nuovo.
Buon anno nuovo.
Felice, sì, felice anno nuovo, buon anno nuovo, ok. Buon inizio.
I'll work on my Italian.
Yeah, one day maybe we can surprise them all with
Sounds
an
good.
Italian interview. Okay, I really, really enjoy this time with you, Fred. Hope to speak to you again soon. For now, I say bye. Buon anno nuovo. I'll see you soon again, okay?
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Fred.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so it was so nice to talk with him. It was a really nice guy, the former coach of China. I mean, it's a big achievement. So, guys, this is Buggy Live with me, Riccardo. And what can I say? Buon anno, because in less than 1 hour we will be in. Actually, in 1 hour we will be in 2020. Said that, I wish you happy holidays and see you soon. From me, Riccardo, and the Buggy Life staff, we wish you a pleasant night and happy holidays. Bye bye.